I'm a pretty laid back person, and there are a few things that get under my skin, but there is one thing that really makes my blood boil. It's when business owners tell me that their sales have declined because their customers have changed. You know what? I think that this is a pathetic cop out. I'm being harsh, but I really believe that this is a convenient excuse to pass the blame and escape the reality of their failed marketing efforts. And I am so fed up with excuses. My tolerance level for excuses is zero, it's zilch, it's nada. If you want to face the reality of why your marketing isn't effective, then don't blame the customer, blame yourself. Why? Because your customers, their taste, their buying behaviors, those are always in this constant state of flux. And if you don't take the time to understand them and how they're changing, then guess what? It's you that's responsible for your decline in sales. Excuses are the nails that build a house of failure. And if you're going to make excuses for why you can't change when clearly you need to be changing and the success and failure of your business depends on it, then move out of the way and let somebody else run your business. Seriously. Take the keys and hand them over and give them the list of your best customers and go on and do something else in life. Now, they might struggle at first, but with the right mindset and the right creativity, if you have a viable product and service, they'll do whatever it takes to breathe new life into it. They'll do what you could not and would not do. And you know what? They're going to make it look easy. Why do I say that? Because in life and in business, you can either choose to be a victor or a victim. Whether you're aware of it or not, you have that choice. And when you choose to be a victim, then life just kind of happens to you. Sales are out of control. You can't figure out how to stop the decline. Marketing activities are not effectual. It's all the customer's fault. But if you look at the other side of the equation and instead you become a victor, then it doesn't matter what challenges you're faced with and what's thrown at you, you're going to overcome them. There are so many businesses out there right now that are amazingly successful, even in the face of the same incredible adversity and hardships that you're dealing with. And they were successful by choosing to be a victor and refusing to play the blame game. They did so by living above the line. And that's the concept that I want you to get today, is living above the line. Pretend that there's this invisible line that exists, and this line represents every challenge that you have in front of you today. And if you're like any other small business in America right now, you've got a lot of challenges there. You know, there are so many of my clients that have come to me and they're dealing with declining sales and a shrinking customer base, while at the same time their expenses are slowly creeping up. You know, they come with marketing activities that are antiquated and sales messages that are outdated. They're in a bad place. And even though their customers are online and they are online, they have websites, they still have yet to figure out how to really make the connection and how to tap into the internet marketing place. So for a small business, that line is really heavy, and we're just looking at sales and marketing here. You know, that doesn't include the trials of operating a small business in one of the toughest economic environments ever. But when you live above the line rather than beneath the line, you learn rather than blame. When you blame, that line is really heavy and it's a tremendous burden that you can't seem to remove. But when you learn, it doesn't matter how heavy that line is because you're creatively overcoming those challenges. So learning rather than blaming puts you in control. And your success and your business's success isn't determined by external circumstances. It's determined by you. So no matter what challenges are thrown at you, you are a victor. And being victorious is really what inbound marketing at its core is all about. Inbound marketing is great. We talk about it a lot. It's a popular buzzword that I throw around because it makes me sound cool and because it really is important. But what people really aren't talking about is what inbound marketing means for the marketer at a deeper level. Inbound marketing is a mindset change. It's a shift in thinking. It gives you power. It means recognizing the changes in the marketplace and actually doing something about it. It means taking back the reins and taking back control, and you're in the driver's seat. It means living above the line. So as a leader, you have an incredible responsibility to live above the line, even when others think that that line is overwhelming and that you should just give up. If you're here and you're taking this course, I think you already have a sense of that responsibility, and you're already a victor rather than a victim, and I think you're in the right place. I start this course out about raving or ranting about living above the line. And I am harsh on leaders that use excuses, because I believe that excuses are the tools of the incompetent, and those that use them seldom go far. It is human nature to make excuses, but when left unchecked, they are insidious and they can mean death to your best marketing efforts. You can go through the motions of implementing a solid inbound marketing strategy for your company, but if you have the remnants of the blame, the victim mentality, then you're not going to go far. So before we go any further, and before you move on to the next video, check your excuses at the door. That's the exercise I want you to do. And I'm not just gently asking you to do this. I am demanding that you do this. Don't go on if you're not going to check your excuses. If you were walking into my office requesting help with your marketing strategy, one of the first things that I would do is sit down and ask you to write down your excuses that are playing in that mental tape in your head. And then I would take that sheet of paper, rip it up, and add it to the box of excuses that I have sitting right here on my desk. This box is full of torn pieces of paper. Some of them are my own, some of them are my clients, but they're a constant reminder of what I refuse to accept in my life and my business. So use the comments box to dump all of your excuses. And if you feel the pain, if you think I'm being harsh and unyielding, then guess what? That means I'm talking to you. You're the one that's making up the excuses. But guess what? You belong here, and your excuses don't. So no matter how big or small your excuses are, they have power over you. They have control over you. So putting your excuses in the box is the first step in taking that power back and starting to live above the line.